In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you prepare Illustrator files to import into Adobe After Effects. Depending on how organized you are, you're going to have to become more organized if you're going to build graphics in Adobe Illustrator and then bring them into Adobe After Effects for animation. That organization is going to come on the layers. You can have multiple layers, but you're going to want to make sure that you try to keep them to a minimum, or you have to be very organized in how you name the layers and how many layers you have. As you can see, I have 4 objects that I want to bring into Adobe After Effects. So I've created them in Adobe Illustrator. They're outlined. They're not placed files from Photoshop. And I've planned out the animation in After Effects that I want them to be about the same height and fall in the same place. More importantly, I want you to notice how each layer is named what it is. That's one of the critical things about the animation, is that it has to be named what it is so that when you import them into After Effects, you'll be able to tell which layer is which. So say, for example, if I wanted to animate this watch hand spinning, I would create a layer above it. Select just my watch path. We'll cut it out. And so this layer is the watch. And on my layer above it is the watch hand. And I'll name this watch hand. So that now if I wanted to bring this into Adobe After Effects, I would be bringing in 2 layers. One layer that's my watch and one layer that's the watch hands, and I wouldn't have to separate them or manipulate it in Adobe After Effects. I could take this even further if I wanted by duplicating the layer. We're going to go ahead and remove some points. So I can call this, if I want, the hour hand. And we'll call this the minute hand. And I'm going to scoot the minute hand over a little bit so that it overlaps. And so now if I were to import this in, I could import it where I would have just the watch, the hour hand, the minute hand, and that would allow me, if I wanted, actually thinking this out further, probably want this to be right about in the center, because if I were going to animate it, I would animate it from a center axis so that it would spin around based off of here and not from here. It's all in the anchor points. And this is why you need to be organized, name your layers, and plan out your animation ahead of time. This is how you would set it up in Adobe Illustrator.